So yay, DJ Sona. Finally I'm getting around to doing a DJ Sona commentary. It took me a long time, mostly just because I've been really busy for the last couple weeks, and I'm also just not convinced that Sona's a good champion. So trying to pick up Sona again for Season 5 was just a nightmare, just because I'm still very confirmed that Sona's the worst support right now. But I really wanted to do a DJ Sona commentary, mostly just because a lot of people have been asking me for one, so I thought I will just go ahead and do one. Runes and Masters will be in the description as always, but I believe my runes are Hybrid and Red, Flat Health Yellow. I think I'm running a mix of Magic Resist and Mana Regen Blues, and then I think 2 Mana Regen... 1 Mana Regen coin and 2 Armor coins, I think, is the setup. And I wanted to experiment with the setup mostly because I think Sona is just really probably the most mana hungry support in the entire game. So I wanted to see how well I would do if I ran a really heavy Mana Regen page. And so you'll see what happens this game. So this laning phase is going to be a Sivir Sona versus Ezreal Thresh. And to be honest, I actually think we might actually win this lane, mostly because Ezreal isn't a really good laner in general, and Sivir offers a lot more pushing power and presence. You can see right here, right when hit level 2, they're not level 2 yet, so I can just run straight at them and just zone them out, even though in this matchup Thresh can supposedly just scare me out of lane. But right now, since I had that level advantage, I could pressure him a little bit. Here, I get hooked unfortunately, but I'm not really that scared, mostly because they don't really have a lot of all-in damage because it's an Ezreal. And so you can see, I get out okay. Sivir almost gets a kill on Thresh, just barely. If I think I stayed around and autoed one more time, that would have been a kill. But, you know, I didn't want to risk dying too much, so it's okay. Like, we won the trade, as you can see. Sivir's still at about 2/3, Ezreal's at about 1/3. Thresh and I were about the same amount of HP, but I have built-in healing, so I'm not that concerned. So, fast forwarding through lane, you can see that basically now that like Thresh is all out of summoners, and even though I still have my flash, so I'm just gonna keep like zoning out the Thresh right now because he's gonna be really scared. I dodged a hook right there, and now that the hook is down, I can just continue to pressure them once again. Like Sona wins the lane by just pressuring really hard and just poking and out trading them. But you can only really do that once you know that their main CC spells are down because Sona is so fragile. So once like the Thresh hook cooldown is gone, I can just go up and just poke them out. Otherwise, there isn't that much to talk about. Dodge another hook. Now I'm once again playing really aggressively, doing a huge amount of poke damage just like that. What's really actually, let me go back and slow that down to show you the auto Q auto, because you can see right now I have 2 passive things charged up. So my next Q is going to be charged up. So right when I see Thresh go up, I auto Q auto immediately. And you can actually, what's really interesting is that on, I think DJ Sona in particular, the auto Q auto, right when you auto attack and you press Q to build up the power cord passive charge, it actually, I swear to God, like it actually resets your animation completely. So it's like, it's kind of like a Sivir W, where if you're Sivir and you auto and you press W, your auto animation comes back up immediately. I swear to God, it's the exact same thing on Sona, on this skin only, because I'm almost certain on any other Sona skin, it doesn't come as quickly. Like it does not reset my auto animation that quickly, and I swear the DJ Sona skin is broken. That's what I think though. So Ezreal was by himself, so I was just pressuring him out. And unfortunately, Sejuani does come here for a gank. I thought I could dodge that, but Sejuani flash Q'd, so I flash out of the Thresh hook, and then I dodge the Ezreal Q, and I get a nice heal from Sivir, which I guess saved me, but not really, because I was still at pretty healthy HP. And luckily for us, our Swain and Gangplank come down to roam, and Gangplank has oranges, so he's pretty broken. And we get out pretty safe. Now I'm going to help try to shove out this lane, because Ezreal and Thresh have to go back right now because Swain is going to zone them out, and now Ezreal's going to lose even more CS. And you can see now, like, the discrepancy in CS is getting pretty big. Like, Sivir is about 13 ahead, and we're going to have an EXP advantage as well. So this lane is going actually surprisingly well for us. So let's see. Now, in terms of items, on my first back, I actually got a Side Stone, which is something I actually don't like doing too often. I usually like going mobility boost on most supports, but in this matchup in particular, I really just need to be able to survive the all-in, and I'm really scared of Sejuani and Twisted Fate ganks, because Twisted Fate is level 7 right now. So I wanted to ward up just in case Twisted Fate would ult, because usually if he ults bot, he'll walk around here, and then ult. So I warded this bush right here, and I covered this ward in case Sejuani came. You can see once again, Ezreal's by himself. So I'm going to try to just poke him out, and Sona can usually 1v1 most AD carries early on, so I'm just going to pressure him as hard as I can. Now, I see Thresh want to go ahead and roam mid, so I'm going to roam as well, because, like, when you're in this situation where the other enemy support went to go roam, and you were bot with your AD, you have two options. You can either roam if you think that you can help your team get some kills, like in this case, I saw Renekton was coming down, so I wanted to help out my team in case the Renekton comes so we can surprise them. Or you can decide to stay bot with your own AD and just push it out, which actually would have been a relatively decent option, but at this point right now, I know Sivir's level 6 and Ezreal's not, so even if I leave Sivir in a 1v1, I'm like 99% sure Sivir can win the lane by herself, so that's why I choose to go roam, because I feel like I'd have more impact helping out the other lanes than to stay bot when Sivir can already win lane by herself. That's my decision making right there. And so, head to mid right now, drop a ward. I don't think we actually get the Thresh kill, but Renekton does come up. I beat him mid just in time. And he's going to try to get the kill on Gangplank, but I think Gangplank stays under turret for a little bit too long and ended up getting that kill, so that's kind of nice for me. Anyways, I'm going to go back, and you can see, like I said before, like Ezreal had to go back, and Sivir just shoved him out of lane, and now we can pretty much just take this turret, just the two of us, since both bot lane, AD, and support are gone, and getting a turret this early in, about before 10 minutes, is really powerful, because now, this pretty much lets me roam mid freely, and Sivir Knight can rotate mid, push down this turret really fast, and then while Ezreal has to push out this bot lane to get to our turret. You can see our turret isn't even scratched yet, just because Sivir and I have been pushing 24/7. So you can see, like, Sivir and I have been doing a really good job in keeping up with the pressure. So for my items, you can see the... Actually, wait. Swain's gonna go in right here. He's gonna try to zone out the Thresh. I'm gonna try to help out the Swain as best as I can to heal him up and stuff like that. Right before I get Sejuani ulted, I shoot up my ult. And this is actually really important. You can actually do this with a lot of people, where if you have some kind of spell that takes kind of a while to cast, like a Sona ult kind of has like a buffer time, Thresh Q also has a buffer time. If you get CC'd after you already start the animation for your spell, it'll actually still go off. So right there, right before I got hit by the Sejuani ult, I still pressed R, and Sona was doing the animation for the ult. And so even though I got stunned, my ult still went off on the Sejuani and Thresh. If I hit the TF, that probably would have been a little bit better, but I aimed a little bit too low. But it's okay though, because just buying enough time for this Swain to get more damage is all I really needed to do. And unfortunately, I do get taken down, but with the help of the Gangplank ult, Swain's going to get a double kill, so that's actually quite worth it for us. Now, because Swain is getting really, really strong. And I don't mind taking a 2-for-1 trade like that. And I was going to say, in terms of items, you can see that I was actually going... I had enough, about 1k gold, but I still went ahead and bought a boot and a Forbidden Idol, mostly because I recognized that I knew we were going to go push mid, and so I didn't really need the mobility boots immediately because I didn't really actually need to roam, because all I need to do was just stay mid and possibly siege. So in the event we did had to siege, instead of teamfight right there, I can easily have more mana by having Forbidden Idol and having cooldown reduction, so that was the reason why I went for that. Now I went back because we're already about to take mid turret. Didn't really need my help because I see two people are top, Ezreal is bot. So I know no one's going to really be there to defend their mid, so I'll let my team take it. And instead I went ahead and back, bought Distortion Boots, help push out top with Gangplank. And now I'm going to just come back mid right now and just ward up the area, I believe. Oh yeah. I actually ran down here because I believe Swain was right here. Yeah, he was right here. So Swain pretty much 1v1s the TF. I get hooked right here, so I'm in kind of a bad spot. But now I see that Ezreal and Sejuani here send out another ult to stall, buy a little bit more time. But I'm not going to leave the box right here. I'm actually going to stay and fight because I'm going to stay for as long as I can until the box expires. And that way I help turn the tables with the Swain. We end up getting the kill on Sejuani. I ward over the cliff right here in case the Ezreal chooses to stay. and we end up winning that team fight. So note that when I got trapped in the box right here, I didn't like panic flash out. No, I still have my flash. I just stayed inside the box and just continued fighting because I didn't feel like I was going to die right there. And if I was going to die, then I would have flashed over the box. But I held on to my flash because I wanted to analyze the situation more. I was pretty confident I wasn't going to die, and I did not die. So you don't really have to panic flash too much. Plus, my flash is a lot more precious for engaging. And so a lot of times when you're playing a support like Annie or Sona, when you have to flash engage a lot, it's usually best to not use flash to survive and instead save your flash for the next team fight and just give up your life. So here I don't have my ult unfortunately, but I end up just spamming auras. Nothing really too special right here, except I accidentally let Sivir get hooked because I wanted to not get hooked. And I'm just trying to poke him out right now. But unfortunately, Sivir does end up dying. And right here, I have to flash the hook because I was going to get hooked 100%. I needed to make space for Twisted Fate. Luckily for me, I got my speed aura back up, so I wasn't going to die right there. So that was quite nice. And Thresh is here. Like, TF doesn't grab the lantern for whatever reason. Probably because he sees the Swain. And Swain is just going to wreck him. Yeah, probably don't need to flash for that Thresh kill, but that's pretty worth it. Pretty good bait on my part. Now I saw Renekton was coming here because of this ward, so I went to go place a ward here just in case he continued approaching us, but he didn't. So we're okay. You can see now, like, Sejuani is pretty much caught on her own. I'm not really afraid of Sejuani. I'm pretty sure I can survive because she doesn't really have anything. But she dashes over the cliff right here, which is kind of my bad. I probably should have body blocked that Q. And I'm trying to get the Sejuani, but turns out she actually had her ult come back up, and she just ulted me in the face, so that was kind of stupid. Kind of died for no reason right there, but that's okay. You can see now, right there, I sold my Spell Thief and actually traded it for a Nomad's Medallion, because right now, I want to focus more on engaging, and this right now is a perfect time for me to get the Talisman. I actually had that much money, so I just bought Talisman straight up. But basically, I don't think it's ever bad to sell your gold generation item if you want to get a different final gold generation item build. I can't help the room right there. Because, like, Spell Thief wasn't going to help us that much against this kind of comp when they are really good at making picks and stuff like that. Right now, for us, we actually need a lot more engage, and we also have Sivir movement speed, so getting a Talisman is actually great because then we can stack movement speed and run super fast. Plus I have my speed aura as well, so I think it's a really good purchase in general, and I don't mind selling to Spell Thief because I maybe lost like 100 gold from selling to Spell Thief, which isn't even that much, and I just wrecked the Sejuani right there, so revenge is quite nice. Something here we do here is that we pinked the ward previously and we just camped this bush hoping someone would come, but no one actually came. But that's actually a pretty good strategy if you want to just get a pick like that. Just pink a bush, clear the ward if it's there, and then just stay inside the bush and hope someone comes. Because who knows, that might happen. So in this team fight, Sejuani goes in for whatever reason right here. And we actually get 4-man ulted, which is pretty bad. So looking at the team fight right here, Riven's coming up. Their entire team is kind of over this wall, which is nice for us. Because if they all jumped over the pit, I think we'd be dead right now. And Twisted Fate's coming off to the side. So basically right now, I need to make a decision on what to ult. Because I have two options. I can either move forward and ult about 3 people in this direction, or I ult the TF. And so you can see as this team fight's unfolding, I see the TF like right here. And it doesn't seem like the enemy team is going to be jumping in, because if they were going to fight us right now, they would have jumped in by now. Like, Renekton would have dashed over, Ezreal would have E'd over, Thresh would have maybe flashed over or hooked over. So, at this point, I'm like almost certain that the Sejuani's like pretty helpless right now, and TF is our main concern. I see he has a gold card right now, and if he gold cards Sivir, like Sivir's most likely dead, because TF is the strongest person. So I make the decision to actually just straight up just ult him. So I speed boost so TF can't get to us, ult him and barely hit him at the edge, and we all just turn on the TF immediately and kill him. And then Renekton jumped into the pit way too late, and he's just gonna get wrecked now. So you can see right there, like, making that decision to turn on the TF was really big, because I think most people would have tunneled on trying to get the Sejuani and the people above on the cliff here, because most people would think it's better to get the 3-man ult, but I think it's better to go for that single person right there. You can see here, when the Thresh and Sejuani were here, I went for the Sejuani while my team went for the Thresh because I know like a Swain, Sivir can most certainly chase a low HP Thresh. There was no need for me to actually follow them, but I wasn't quite sure if Sejuani was going to get away, so I went for the Sejuani instead. And I'm out of mana, but Ezreal can't really kill me because it's kind of weak. We end up getting another free turret. So yeah, I guess that kind of makes just a good point in general. Is just that when you have some kind of AoE ult as like Sona or Annie, it's really important to be able to know when to use your ult on one person and to when to save your ult to hit multiple people. And like, because deciding that is what separates really good people from bad people. That's such a stupid phrase, but that's really true. Like in that scenario, I think ulting 3 people is just a terrible decision because like they're over the cliff and no one can follow up. And instead, I think ulting just a TF was a better decision just because TF is more fed. But here, I get kind of caught. I flash over the wall to try to save myself, and right now, I'm running towards this direction because I know the Swain is here. So, I know TF is ulting, and I know if TF tries to cut me off right here, Swain will back me up. And if TF ults here, I can just run straight forward. So, I'm waiting to see where TF ults. He ults right here, and so I don't want to stay right here because like, Swain's already here. Like, if I keep running for it this way, I'm just straight up dead. So I try to speed myself up, get away, and I just barely get stupid flayed and get gold carded, which sucks. And if I didn't get gold carded, I definitely would have lived. But luckily for me, I baited out all their spells because they used it all on me, and Swain just straight up just turned around and just killed them all. So that was kind of nice. And I guess as a mistake on my part was that instead of trying to ward the bush right here, I could have walked this way and warded the bush over the cliff here, and that would have saved me a death, which was kind of my bad. Definitely could have been easily avoided though. Anyways, I guess in terms of items, working on the Crucible now because TF gold cards and Sejuani ult can definitely catch out a lot of us, and I need the Chalice for more mana regen. Anyways, I see Sivir. Like, Sivir flashes at Ezreal, by the way. That was a really good reaction. But Renekton's pretty much caught, so I'm just trying to poke him and kite him out. What I actually should have done here is that I should have started running backwards, but instead I run this way naturally since Renekton's running down towards me. But because of that, I run into the Thresh and TF, which is kind of sketchy. So right now, I'm not quite dead yet, but I see the TF now, so I'm going to try to just ult. I hit all 3 of them perfectly, and that's buying a lot of time for me to run up, but unfortunately the Ezreal is still here. I get hit by the Ezreal Q and I die, which kind of sucks. I wish someone tanked it for me, but we ended up pretty much decimating them all in the 4v4 just because, or I guess 4v5 against them, but yeah, I just kind of baited them all. They wasted a lot of time chasing me, and my ult, in that instance, my ult bought a lot of time by like stunning them right there. So that was pretty nice. And to be perfectly honest, this game is almost over. Like, we're so far ahead right now. Like, I already have 2 items on Sona. Like, 23 minutes in. That's ridiculous for any kind of support. Like, that's so much money right there. And yeah, it's honestly just a matter of time before this game is done. I'm trying to get vision on Baron for us in case we want to do it. Thresh, for some reason, decides to hook me and go in, but he just gets wrecked. Yeah, Gangplank is really strong. But I know Dragon's going to be spawning in about 50 seconds, so I say, you know what, screw Baron. Like, we got a lot of vision, but you know, Dragon's probably a little bit easier to get for us. Plus, they're probably a lot more willingly, they're more willing to go contest that Dragon than they are at Baron, so I dropped 1 ward right there. I was going to go top to kill the Renekton. I don't actually think we end up doing that. We just said, okay, whatever, go back to Dragon, let's just do it there. So we're going to go ahead and do Dragon right now. And after we do Dragon, you can see that I see TF, like, TF showed himself for like half a second mid. And right when I saw TF was mid, I was like, you know what, we all gotta jump in right now. So I'm speeding everyone up, Sivir ults, I talisman everyone, and I just literally just straight up just ult right there. I barely nicked the TF. I get another free pick right there, and that was an easy kill. And even though I don't have my ult, we can pretty much just run straight into their base and just crush them, because we're just so strong right now. And that's pretty much the game right there. So basically, just to kind of sum up Sona, the good things about this game was that during the laning phase, I didn't die, which is really big, because Sona will probably die in laning phase at least like 2 times, I swear to god. But I didn't die a single time throughout the laning phase, which is pretty good. So because I didn't die, I was able to just out-trade to Thresh, and Ezreal exerted a lot of pressure. We were able to get this bot turret at about 10 minutes, and that let me roam mid, put a lot more wards on the map, apply a lot more pressure, and others just have us group really early compared to them. And because of that, we were able to come out ahead, I think. So I definitely wouldn't say that I carried this game, which is why I don't think Sona's just a good support. Like, Sona's kind of bad at carrying games, but I definitely think that Sona's really good at keeping your team ahead, because a Sona with gold is a really dangerous support by just providing so many auras. And otherwise, don't pick Sona, please. Sona's just an awful champion, and that's all I really have to say.